was littered. And some of my colleagues then, the couriers, they abandoned me and went to their house. But I know that if I go to sleep and the bishop comes in the morning and everywhere is littered, and there's no excuse. So we are awake throughout that night to ensure that, in fact, at a point we managed to clear this place and some of the area that, but something beside, we didn't go near there because we couldn't conclude. It was even the painting. Some of the area were done of that night, painting. Because praise the Lord. The Lord is good. God. The covenant partners were majorly behind. And at that time, it cost us almost 60 million naira to complete the total rehauling and republishing of this church, as it were then. And so what made the microfinance bank not to take off was trust. Some members of this church still, shall I say, by their actions, did not believe that the war has ended. And they never trusted that the covenant partners meant well and that God is using them to bring everybody together. So we were unable to raise, then it was 20 million to float a microfinance bank. It wasn't what it is now, 20 million. Which then one or two persons, if they were committed and believed in what we are doing, could have given us that money. And the money is not that dash, it's just investment. That at the end of the day, God being with us and the bank begin to make profit, they will receive back their money. And the aim was to ensure that even the small business traders, women and men within the church that time could get a soft loan without interest, or if there is any interest, just the banking regulation interest will be minimal for them to have access to funds and then fund their businesses. And they will be able to see that, because there were one or two persons, the church were paying their house rent then, where even before the covenant partners took over and established scholarship, there are one or two persons before now this church paid for the education. We wanted this place at that time to be a center of what church ought to be in terms of practical love, demonstration of Christian charity, and every other thing. But we were unable to achieve that. But apart from that, the covenant partners have been a great source of encouragement and support to the work of God. Like we said, it wasn't meant from day one to be a society. And that's why we know that during the election of parish council, the PCC, each society is always asked to nominate two persons. Covenant partners have never fielded anybody to vie for election into PCC, because that's not what it was meant to be. And I believe up to now, they don't field anybody into